#1 on the Gulf Coast. You're watching WALA Channel 10, Mobile, Pensacola. Live from the Greater Gulf State Fair. Action News 10 at 6 p.m. with Bob Grip, Nancy Pierce, meteorologist Steve Bray, Rennie Knott with the sports, and the award-winning Action News 10 team.
Thousands of people are expected at the Mobile Fairgrounds this evening. The 1991 Greater Gulf States Fair is underway.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Bob Grip.
And I'm Nancy Pierce. The 37th annual Greater Gulf State Fair couldn't be off to a better start. Under beautiful blue skies with no chance of rain in sight, the fairgrounds are already home tonight to hundreds of people. Of course, Bob will have a lot more from the fair later in the newscast, but right now let's go back to you in the studio and find out about news along the Gulf Coast.
All right, thank you, Nancy. We'll see you in a few minutes. As we first told you at the beginning of our newscast, the state's second annual fair, largest annual fair, is officially underway.
Bob, we know that you're a little bit envious because you aren't here with us to enjoy all the fun here. Of course, it's just begun at the 37th annual Greater Gulf State Fair. As we told you at 5 o'clock, many people think of the rides and the games when they think about the fair, but there is so much more. For some folks, the livestock shows are what the fair is all about. Action News 10's Teresa Pace is also here at the fair with more. Teresa?
Nancy, that's right. It isn't the bright flashing lights or the screams and laughter of the crowd on the Midway that brings some folks to the fair. Instead, it's the quieter eastern side where the livestock is housed. That part of the fair is where the fair got its start. And as I found out years later, it still remains a big part of the show. Months of preparations go into getting livestock ready for the fair. Showing off well-groomed and well-trained animals is what the agricultural exhibits are all about. Not many folks realize this is how the county fair got its start.
It may be even more important now than it used to be because less than 2% of our population today come from farms or live on farms. And so it's really very important for folks to see a little bit about agriculture, see what a beef animal looks like and a dairy animal and all those things. So it's probably more important today than ever.
While many young people are thinking of the rides and games at the fair, these young people have been busy since May, grooming their cows for the big show. It's what they look forward to every year.
Got 2 more steers for next year and getting them started when I get through selling these. I come down here and show my steers. When I get through, I go back down to the Midway every now and then. But our main thing is to get this show and get them sold.
Cows aren't the only animals on display. More than 500 different breeds and sizes of birds have their moment in the fair spotlight. The keeper of this tent has been raising birds for show for about 30 years. He says this is what the fair is all about.
This is the fair. The south end down here is the carney end of it. This is your fair, your agricultural end, and you'd be surprised at the people that come just for that.
I think it's very appropriate that they have it. I surely do, because there's a lot of people in this area that have chickens. So it's good for them to display them at this medium here.
In addition to the cows and the birds, there are also pigs, lambs, and rabbits out here. And the best thing about all of this, they're friendly. So you can come on out and make some new friends. Nancy, back to you.
Sounds like a lot of fun. And Bob, there are so many things to do for the entire family. And we'll join you in just a few minutes with more on this year's Greater Gulf State Fair.
All right, thanks, Nancy. Also tonight, Don Davis will take us to a local ranch that raises miniature horses, so stay with us for that and much more.
Welcome back to Action News 10 at 6 p.m. I'm Nancy Pierce at the Greater Gulf State Fair. We are having absolutely gorgeous weather, not just fair weather, but gorgeous weather. And it sounds like it's going to stay like this for a few days. Meteorologist Steve Bray is somewhere on the Midway with hopefully a good forecast, Steve.
Yeah, with a good forecast, and I'm telling you, it's getting about that time. We've got popcorn, we've got candied apples, everything, the sights, the sounds, the smells of the fair, they're all here. And if you don't really know how to get out to the fair, we've got a little map here for you. Shows you the best way to get to the fair for the Greater Gulf State Fair. Right now, if you take Airport Boulevard to Cody Road and go north, And then the fairgrounds are located at the corner of Cody Road and Ziegler Boulevard. Should be real easy to find. If you can't find it, stop and ask someone, because there's a lot of people out here now and everybody knows where the fair is at. Let's go ahead and show you what weather you can expect for the fair this weekend. It looks like it's going to be beautiful. Temperatures right now are all in the mid to upper 70s, 79 Fort Walton Beach, 75 in Mobile, also in Tibby. Now the conditions across the area, it is extremely dry. 35% on the relative humidity, winds out of the north at 11 miles per hour. Highs for the day, topped out at 80 degrees in Pensacola, 81 in Fort Walton Beach, into the upper 70s in Mobile and Pascagoula. As you can see, we should normally be in the upper or the middle 80s, much cooler than that, and lows this morning were way below normal. Normally should be at 66 this morning, 52 in Mobile, 52 also Fort Walton Beach, 53 in Pascagoula. Now the record lows were set across the country. A few of them, as a matter of fact, Indianapolis came in at 35 degrees, 37 degrees in Charleston, West Virginia. No records along the Gulf Coast except for Tampa Bay, way down there at the bottom, bottomed out at 64. Now lows for the night are going to be in the 40s for inland areas, but dropping into the or coming up to the low 50s across the coast. Now, the satellite picture shows that we've got clear skies, and they're going to stay clear. Take a look at the national satellite. You can see high pressure extending all the way back out in the Rockies. There is a low pressure system in the Midwest, but there's no moisture for it to produce any rain showers, so it's just going to sit there and kind of fizzle out. We're going to be looking at high pressure all weekend long. Allergy index for you tonight, moderate pollens. Mold spores are moderate as well. As far as the pollens are concerned, ragweed grass and goldenrod the most predominant. Tonight's forecast, it looks fantastic to be on a Ferris wheel. Clear and chilly, 48 to 53 degrees. You might want to bring out a light jacket or sweater if you're coming out to the fair, but it should be great. Tomorrow, sunny and just fabulous, 78 to 82 degrees for the highs and the 5-day outlook. When's the last time you saw a beautiful 5-day outlook like this? Sunny skies for the weekend, partly cloudy at the beginning of next week. Highs are going to be around 80 degrees, climbing into the middle 80s as we enter the beginning of next week. And then we'll see lows in the 50s for the next several nights. So it looks like it's going to be a beautiful night for the fair, not only tonight, but all weekend long and for the next 9 days or so. Bob? Or Nancy, sorry.
Well, Steve, it seems like you're having a great time, and this is your very first Greater Gulf State Fair. I'll meet you at the Funnel Cake booth at 6:35, and Bob will be back with just a few minutes with more of the excitement from the Greater Gulf State Fair.
I knew you were going to get a funnel cake.
Of course.
Coming up next on Action News 10 Sports, running now, let's go back to Nancy Pierce, who's standing by at the fairgrounds, who can't wait to get her funnel cake.
Oh,
Nancy?
you bet. Thank you, Bob. Now, if you think the only thrilling event at the fair is the rides, well, you are missing out on one racing sensation. Take a look at this. These racing pigs are making their debut at the fair with names like Tammy Faye Bacon and Oprah Swinfrey. The 12 pigs are making the rounds at the fair daily. And at the finish line is quite a prize, an Oreo cookie. I know I'd run pretty fast for that. That's our news for now.
Join us again for Action News 10 to 10 p.m. right after the new NBC series, Reasonable Doubts.
And we'll be back here with more live coverage from the Greater Gulf State Fair. We hope to see you out here, too.
Have a good one.